Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another episode of Galactic Guidance Live. So I've got a couple of questions here, plus some topics that I was wanting to talk about that are coming through as being important to the Starseed Collective right now. So lately with my videos on YouTube and my posts, just everything that I'm putting out lately. Hi, Organic Medical, thanks for joining. So lately what I'm putting out is it's more for the Starseed Collective than it is for the collective consciousness of humanity. Hi Marvin, thanks for joining. So, and I think that makes sense for me. I think maybe at the beginning of my career, I was always trying to channel what the collective needed, right? Hi Vanessa, thanks for joining. And it's not that I never do that anymore. It's just that I realize now that, I call myself the Galactic Shepherdess. So it only makes sense that what is coming through for me, for teachings, for energy, for messages, for channeling, all of that would be for starseeds then, right? So I'm kind of switching over, I've noticed in the last, maybe even like the last month or so, and really feeling like everything that I'm putting out there is for the Starseed Collective, not the humanity collective consciousness. It's not for everybody, right? So that's the niche, and that makes sense for all of you. Hi Agason, hi M Mills 1570. Thanks everyone for joining. So I did get a couple of questions from people before this live. Plus, like I said, I have a few things that came through that I want to talk about that are very important for the Starseed Collective right now. But I always like to start out by talking about ascension symptoms, ascension energy, what's going on with us. We've got a huge eclipse coming up. Hi Glitter Goddess, hi Jackie. So we've got this huge eclipse coming up on the 10th, which is Thursday, just looking at my calendar here. It's actually really, really early Thursday morning though, like 4 a.m. if I'm Eastern Standard Time. So that's kind of more like Wednesday evening to me, Wednesday evening, Thursday morning. Hi, someone said, thanks for joining. So I'm just wondering who's feeling this eclipse energy coming through already. So I did a video about the eclipse and what you can expect and how you can ground the energies personally and then also for the collective of humanity. And this is an eclipse that's a 3-part. So there's 3 different solar eclipses happening over the next 3 years. They're all connected energetically. This is the shortest one. It's going to be in its totality for 3 minutes, 33 seconds, 4:12 a.m. Eastern Standard, I believe on the 10th. So the overnight of the 9th, right? And this is all about divine feminine. So basically, technically what's happening, or scientifically what's happening, is that the moon is going to be charting a path. I'm just taking my slippers off because I'm hot. The moon is going to be charting a path between the sun and the earth. So going right between. The moon is divine feminine energy. So divine feminine energy, she's had enough. She's walking her catwalk right through between those two energies. So the solar, the sun, that's masculine energy. So it's like she's blocking for that 3 minutes, 33 seconds, the masculine energy from pummeling the earth like it has been. Obviously we know so much toxic masculinity. Our society is built on it, and it's a patriarchy and all of that. So this is about the divine feminine rising. We've all been talking, you've seen every channel, every starseed, every medium, every spiritual teacher talking about divine feminine rising for a year at least, and how important it is. Because we need to bring the divine feminine up to meet where the masculine has already been, bring them up so that they're equal, right? It's not about eradicating the masculine at all. It's about upgrading it into its divine counterpart and then bringing the two together into balance. So this 3-part eclipse is exactly what that is. It's the divine feminine. It's the culmination of the divine feminine energy finally arriving on earth in her full power. So the last one of the 3, so this one's 3 minutes, 33 seconds. The next one is in 2023, and it's a 4-minute experience. But the one in 2024, if you've watched that video that I have on YouTube about the solar eclipse, it's huge. It's already being called the Great North American Eclipse. Like, it already has a name. It's already been dubbed. You can Google it. Everybody's going wild about this, like, like scientists, meteorologists, astrologers, I mean, everyone, because in its totality, it's going to be over 40 minutes, which is insane. Like, what? That doesn't happen. Like, that's incredible. That is like the final portal of this divine feminine energy. 40 minutes of it. It's an election year on top of that. Like, just prepare yourselves. And so many spiritual teachers, including Elizabeth April, whom I love, have been saying for a long time that this breakdown of society, the dark night of humanity and Gaia and all of that, is going to take 4 years. It started in 2020, and just so happens that in 4 years, we've got an election year, and we've got this giant, great North American eclipse, this 40 minutes of the vortex. That's the portal energy when it's in its totality. It's going to be so, so crazy. So for the next, I guess 3 years now, because we've already done 1 year of this crazy shit, we still have 3 years of it. That's okay, because it's getting easier, because we are getting stronger, we're getting more balanced, and we can bring the divine feminine energy and rise it within our own selves, which will give us that ease and that peace and finding that balance again. So a lot of the monthly energy reports that I've been doing, like the April, the May, the June, all also can be found on YouTube. They've pretty much all been about the finding balance between the two. So your sacral chakra is your divine feminine, womb of creation. Your solar plexus is your divine masculine, divine action, okay? So trying to find balance between the two means that we keep bouncing back and forth between the two. So you're probably having a lot of ascension symptoms physically in those two areas, right? So at the top of the stomach where the masculine is, at the solar plexus, that's like stomach aches, digestive issues. It goes all the way through though, and that could be like back pain in the center. You could even have like rib issues. I mean, it's all around that area. And personally, like, I definitely, when I get stressed or when the energies are hitting me hard, it's all about the stomach aches, the digestive issues, all of that. And then you go down a little bit to the lower belly between the hips, and that's your divine feminine. And then you'd be experiencing, again, a lot of like problems with, well, if you're a woman, with reproductive stuff, pain, irregularities, all kinds of things like that. And then also your bowels, your bladder, like everything is right in that area, right? And then also the hips on the side, and then the lower back tailbone, right? So all around that. So you could be experiencing the bouncing back and forth energy between those two. Now, what's happening with these eclipses is that the answer to balancing divine feminine and divine masculine, the solution, was always to rise up into the heart. So the energies are now on the way up, divine feminine rising to meet the masculine, and then they rise together. So we're still on the divine feminine rising, the sacral chakra rising to meet the masculine in the solar plexus. That's where we're at. But when it gets there, then it rises together into the heart. And then that is that final solar eclipse in 2024. And I think it was, no, I can't remember the date. I don't want to guess. I think it's April, but I'm not sure. And so Google that, look it up, take the day off. Like, honestly, it's going to be so wild. 40 minutes of that intense craziness. Thank you so much to everybody who's joining. Sorry I didn't say hi to y'all personally. Okay, so what are you feeling right now for ascension symptoms? Because I've been bouncing back and forth between inner peace and excitement, like feeling really good, like, oh my God, yes, I'm feeling these new energies, I've got this, having great days. I went out to the park yesterday, I did some meditation, I did some cards, there were the cutest kids playing, they were hugging all the trees, like, oh my God, it was so precious. But then I'll go back, like, within a matter of hours, back into hermit mode. Like, I don't want to see anyone, I don't even want to be out in the world, I just want to be in my cave, right? That, again, that really actually sounds a lot still like the balance or the bouncing back and forth between masculine and feminine, because feminine is in the cave, she's intuition, she's working on herself, she's going deep within, she's releasing, and then the masculine is out in the world doing things, action. So are you feeling these back and forth bounces between the hermit mode and the wanting to be social, wanting to like be out in the world, wanting to go, I don't know, go shopping, meet people, say hello to people, all those things, right? Go for visits if you can, depending on where you live. I know we're still going through this lockdown and stuff like that. So, oh, and I know that you've all been super, super supportive of me being in Ontario. If you don't know, it's one of the most locked down places in North America, maybe the world. It's been really difficult. We have been, they call it stay-at-home orders, where you're not allowed to leave your home. And then, you know, they had the police like wanting to like check people if they do leave their home. Like, do you have an essential reason to not be at home right now? Insane. Like, you never would have thought the world could even get to this place, right? It's been months and months and months of this. Months, maybe longer, maybe over a year of just stay-at-home orders. And they blast our cell phones with these warnings to stay at home. So like you didn't sign up for the notifications. It just comes through. So they're actually called Amber Alerts, and it's something that you're just signed up for it automatically if you live here in Ontario. You don't get a choice. And normally it's just about missing children, so nobody would really complain, right? Like if a child goes missing, an Amber Alert goes off on every single person's cell phone in Ontario to say, this child is missing, this is what they look like, have you seen them, etc. Okay. And I mean, it happens at all hours of the night. It's very scary because it's like a siren on your phone. Like, it sounds like a siren, and they've got it super loud. You can't turn it off or turn it down. You just have to deal with it. So they hijacked that and turned it into a COVID-19 alert alarm and started blasting people with stay at home. It's the law. It literally said that. Stay at home, it's the law. It's like, is it? I don't think you can do that. It's not the law. It's a suggestion. But anyway. So yes, I've been going through all this. Also in Ontario, they stopped us from being able to buy what we wanted to buy. So you were allowed to go to the grocery store, but certain aisles were blocked off. Like if the grocery store had things like, I don't know, like candles, tableware, like a bowl, if you want to buy a fruit bowl, clothing, children's books, all of it was literally taped off. And said, the Ontario government says that because this is not essential, you cannot buy it. To try to discourage people from leaving their homes, you can only get food. Isn't that crazy? So it was like living in, I don't know, some kind of crazy country. I mean, that's not like the typical Canada. And like, I don't know, Canada really went hard on this whole lockdown. Like, they just took it really seriously. They don't want to let up. So anyway, long story short, you guys have been so amazingly supportive of me. Everybody's messaging me, asking me if I need anything. Can you send me, food? Like, do I need, am I okay? Like, thank you so, so much. I am like so grateful. When you're locked in your home and you can't see other faces, you can't go outside, it's hard. And then going through like huge life changes like I was, feeling so alone, it was like really amazing to have this community support me. And like, I just honestly, it makes me teary-eyed. Like, I can't thank you enough. I really needed that connection and support with other humans. So thank you so much. And I know that you'll be super happy to hear that this Friday on June 11th, it ends. It's over. So there's like a 3-step program apparently to open up the province again. And of course, it's super restrictive still and very slow, but stage 1 starts on Friday. So we're allowed to leave our homes. Apparently stores are allowed to open up to like 15% capacity. Oh my God, I'll take it. Like, oh my God. Yes, we still have to like wear masks, socially distance and all of that. There's no eating in on restaurants. There's no movie theaters. There's none of that. However, things are starting to open up again after like a year of this intensity and feeling so like snuffed out, right? Like your light just starts to feel. But that's why I'm in Ontario. All of us Starseeds are placed where we are for a reason. And I've been doing nothing but blasting the planetary grid in my area with so much light. And you can do that. You can help any area of the world, including the one that you're in, through, you can actually take a map out and look at the area, like look at it and send it love, like with the palms of your hands, with your eyes, with your heart, or you can just close your eyes and visualize it. What I like to do is close my eyes and visualize the planetary grid above me, because the planetary grid, it covers the whole planet in this hexagonal shape. It looks like the inside of a bee or a honeycomb, you know, like the little hexagons all joined together. It looks like that, but it's energy. It covers the whole planet. So no matter where you are on the planet, if you go straight up, it's there. So you can just direct everything straight up, and then you're owning your section of the grid, right? Like we're all grid workers in a way. So then you're owning your section of the grid, you're helping, you're blasting it with light. And I would just send it so like love more so actually than light, because I felt like that's what was needed. Love is pink energy. So if you're wanting to send gentle love, and you know when it's needed, because white light is like a blast. I mean, that's not what Ontario needed. It needed love, it needed healing. So it was all about pink light, and just directly above your head, you can hold your hands up and send it like this, or you can just send it through the channel that is your body in any way. So if you're feeling like the territory where you live needs that, please do your grid work. You know, hold your own. You're placed where you are for a reason. So take care of your specific territory in your area, please. So yeah, and then, sorry, we were talking about ascension symptoms, the hermit mode, bouncing back and forth between feeling like social and wanting to do something and leave the home, to hermit mode. Also, what I've noticed is I've been sighing a lot. So that is actually, and you just kind of hear yourself doing it. I've just been like a lot of sighing. And that is like a natural way to release energy. So an energetic buildup, my body knows what it needs to do. Maybe you're yawning a lot, burping a lot. I know that's weird, but that's another release. Sighing, or like feeling like you need to stretch, like you get overtaken and you need to stretch your body a lot. All of these are energetic releases that are very, very helpful for you as the channel, as the body. And then you're also helping, when you're doing that, you're likely doing it for Gaia as well, because the energy kind of comes up from our feet, from the ground up, and then we release it for her, right? Now that's true for emotions too. Like when you have an ascension symptom that's an emotional release, you're releasing for Gaia. She needs outlets. And so sometimes you don't know why you're angry, or you don't know why you're sad. And it's extreme when it comes on fast, and it's like you could be like in a rage and not know why, right? It's really important to be open, to be the open channel that you just let it out, go into a safe space and just scream, cry, whatever you need to do. If it's not coming from you, you can tune in to Gaia, and we can talk about how to tune in if you'd like, and see if it's coming from her. And if it is, she's full of stuff that needs releasing. Imagine how angry she is about all of the atrocities, injustice. I just can't even imagine. She's a real person. She's just a soul just like you, like a personality, has past lives, has a team of guides, just chose to be a planet for this incarnation, which would be like a really long incarnation, but it won't last forever. And some of you have maybe even been planets or stars. I know that I've had an incarnation like that, and that's why I often refer to Gaia as my sister, because it feels like my sister. She's family to me, and I'm here to be with her. I've been on Earth a few times now to be with her and to help her through this. So she's definitely needing our help to release, and then the planetary grid also needs our help to heal and transmute to higher energy. If you want to know how to transmute, I just released a video yesterday about how to transmute anything in your life. So definitely check that out if you have questions about that. Okay, so I'm just going to catch up on some of your comments here. Marvin says, Devoted Warrior of Light says, I've been getting into yoga and bath meditations. Oh, so beautiful. It's helped release a lot of pain, sudden cries, or ease in physical movement. Yes, exactly. Oops, sorry, I'm back. And then we've also got, who else in here? Nain the Ninth says solar plexus activation and sacral cleansing. Yes, that's the divine masculine to the divine feminine. Both of those need our attention and healing right now because they're trying to balance themselves out. So either one, send your love, whatever one's calling to you. If it's your divine masculine, divine action, or if it's your divine feminine, your intuition, your creativity, your connection to the moon and Gaia. It's very earthy energy. Jackie says she's in between action and surrender, getting into the flow. Yes, perfect. And the flow is somewhere in the middle, right? Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you so much for sending me love for living in Ontario. And then Caffeine Pappy says, is that the most stringent lockdown for you guys in Ontario? I'm used to the restrictions imposed, but they're lifted in California. Yes. Yeah, it's been going on for, like I said, it's been probably over a year of literally stay at home. It's been so silly. Devoted Warrior of Light says, Archangel Michael and Raphael are my two go-tos. Mine too. To send love and protection, the presence of them is surreal. Yes, absolutely. Archangel Michael's always been my go-to, even as a kid, like always, and Jesus. But Archangel Raphael really came through strong for me in 2020 when all this stuff was going down. And he's been with me ever since. And he's the most amazing, because he's known as the healing angel, right? But he's like a therapist. Like, he's the most amazing person to have a conversation with. Like, he's such a good listener. And then he doesn't just tell you what you want to hear either. He's not like, oh, it'll get better. He's like, okay, well, what can you do about the situation? What are your options right now? How is it making you feel? Like a true therapist. Like, so cool. So, hi, Steven. 222. That's such a blessed number. I've been seeing that number a lot lately. So it's weird that you just sent it. I've seen it like maybe 4 times yesterday. Random. I was walking down the street and there was a building, 222, and then I saw it on like the time a couple of times. Someone sent it to me. Crazy. Okay, so what else is going on? And please feel free to drop any questions, of course, in the comments here, but I'm going to move on to empaths right now. So everything that we just discussed, all of this buildup of energy, these eclipses. We just had a lunar eclipse. If you guys didn't see that, I did a whole ceremony that you can check out. You can actually redo it for the solar eclipse that's coming up because it's an energetic ceremony. So it really would work for any energy. But the empaths are really struggling right now, like hard, because they feel everything so much more than the typical soul. And there are varying degrees of empathic abilities, but a lot of you are really suffering, and I know that. So just remember how important the protection bubbles are for yourself. And we talked about this in the last galactic guidance about placing the bubbles of energy around yourself when you're feeling drained, because you may not know what's draining you, but if you're feeling drained, it's time to protect yourself. Don't wait until you're so exhausted you can barely get out of bed, because you'll get to that point. You need to surround yourself with light. Use pink, white, or gold, whatever one of those really speaks to you. Surround yourself with it. And if you are in a situation where someone is being aggressive with you, or you're feeling attacked in any way, then make that bubble of light, whatever color you've chosen, into like a metallic metal reflective kind of vibe. So like a chrome, right? So if you're doing white light, then visualize it's more like chrome white, or pink, same idea, or the gold. Well, gold is reflective, because what you're going to do is you're actually going to, it almost works like a mirror, but it's like a reflection where you're bouncing the energy back at them, and it works so quickly. I shared in the last galactic guidance that I tried this when I was having a conversation with someone that I felt was just being really negative, and I was just like, starting to feel a little drained, but I was still trying to listen and not be rude and everything. So then I remembered, and I turned the bubble of light into this like metallic, shiny, reflective light, and that would bounce that negativity back at them. So instead of me just absorbing it all of a sudden now it's coming back at them. They're like, oh, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, sorry to be so negative, literally within like a few seconds of me doing it. And then the conversation switched. So it's so powerful. It's just, are you doing it, right? Because our intentions, they are magic. that is magic. Magic is just intention, right? And everybody always, especially starseeds, we're always like, Earth is so boring. Like, I want, Harry Potter world or like something magical. It is magic. We do have it. We absolutely have Earth magic here. We have creation magic. We have our intention. We can create and do anything, especially with energy. So practice protecting yourself with these kinds of bubbles. And then what empaths can also do is connection. So either connection to source or connection to your guides and your team is super important when you're feeling overwhelmed. Super important for you. So if you're unsure of how to connect with your team or with source, it's really about quieting your mind and your heart. You know what? I actually had someone ask the question, how do you improve telepathy? And this answer is going to answer that question. So how do you connect? How do you improve telepathy? All the same steps. You need to be clear and quiet in your mind and in your heart, both. So what I do is I will pray for that. I will pray and I will say Archangel Michael or Archangel Raphael or both, or whomever you want to pray to, God, source, it doesn't matter. It's whatever you are connected with or believe in. Please clear my mind and my heart from all of my overactive thoughts, energy. Please clear everything that isn't for my highest good from my mind and my heart, and allow me to have ease of connection with you. And then when you're in that quiet place, it's just like a meditation, right? If you don't like meditating, then you can just think of it as just sitting with that person you're trying to connect with or have telepathy with. They're there. As soon as you call on them, use their name, ask them to help you clear your mind and heart, the connection's already begun. So now it's about you trusting and believing in it. And what I find really helpful is when you're starting out, if you talk out loud, even though you will hear it in your mind's ear, like what they're saying back to you, you can say it out loud and get confirmation, or you can just say it out loud to yourself, like, I look crazy walking down the street or being in a park or something, having these conversations. But when I start to say it out loud, it really helps the connection. So if you're struggling at all, just talk out loud. So like if I'm talking to Archangel Michael and I'm like, you know what, this is really bothering me, like I don't really know what to do, like what do you think I should do? And then I listen with that clear mind and heart, and I hear him say, well, I think it's, and then I'm like, oh, you think that? You think I should do this? And then I wait and he'll send confirmation. I'll either hear, yeah, I do, I think you should, or something else will happen, some kind of sign. So repeat back to them what you're getting. Like, you think this? Is that what you said? Or is that what you think? So telepathy is a lot of, at the beginning, wanting confirmation that it's not your own imagination, and that's okay. We love confirmation. Everyone does. Who doesn't love getting signs and synchronicities? We all love it. So don't feel bad for wanting that. Keep asking for it. You can have as many as you want, right? So another great tip for connecting with your guides or using telepathy is to not be sleepy and not be too full. Because if you're super sleepy, take a nap. If you've just eaten a ton of food, food grounds us, and we're trying to do the opposite of grounding when we're trying to connect with spirit, right? So heavy food is dense, right? Any food in your belly is all dense. So try to do it when you've got, it doesn't have to be an empty stomach, but not when you just had a meal. And not if you're super sleepy. It doesn't mean that you can't connect in those times, because you can, and I have. It's just not as there's not as much ease or flow, if that makes sense. Another thing that I find helpful is to stretch beforehand, because when you're trying to clear your mind and heart, it's helpful to stretch to clear. And this will clear your whole body. So energy gets trapped in our bodies and in our chakras, and when you stretch, you are releasing that energy. So stretch deeply into your hips and your back. Whatever kinds of stretches feel good to you, go with that. Hold the poses for 15 to 30 seconds. Do a quick full body stretch before you try to connect or have a telepathic conversation, and that will really help. So hopefully some of those tips are going to help you, and that's a way for empaths to really get through the big struggles happening right now. So the protection, the connection. And then the last thing that I was going to say is, you know what, this is this is a new topic. So let me just catch up on some of these comments before I move on from empaths. So Stephen Rock is experiencing energy ups and downs right now. Yes, aren't we all? Going back and forth between having energy and having none, right? And then he also says heart chakra was opening so wide. I was nauseous last night. Wow. So that sounds like a bit of a release though. Because an open, beautiful, like healthy open heart chakra feels like bliss. So the nausea is something within there wanting to come out. So what is going on? Is it a past life thing? Is it a stress or a worry or a self-doubt? Is it a childhood thing? That's your body's way. Our bodies talk to us through sensation, always. And emotions are not mental, they're physical. We feel emotions physically. Everyone thinks it's mental energy, and it's not at all. You don't feel your emotions in your brain. You don't think and then have a thought of an emotion. It's physical. Like when you're angry, your chest gets on fire. When you're nervous and stressed, your stomach is flip-flopping. When you're in love, your whole body, especially your heart, is rushing. Like it's all physical. Emotions are physical energy. So when you're having a physical sensation of nausea, that is your body telling you there's something here I don't want to hold on to anymore. So do the connection with source or a guide that you trust and find out what that is. What's in there that needs to come out. It definitely sounds like a sadness or a trauma to release. So, all right. Devoted Warrior of Light says, thank you, Jenny. I've been doing telepathy randomly with animals. Yes, oh my God, I do that with Gus all the time. I always know what he's thinking. It's so funny. Especially cats and dogs, and I wanted to improve on it. Yes, talking out loud, even with them, helps. I do that with Gus. We have conversations, and he's very vocal, so it makes it really funny. So I'll tell him like what I'm hearing, like, oh, you want this? Oh, you're not happy today? Oh, you don't feel good? And he'll go, and he'll tell me a story, and it's so super cute. So you can still turn your telepathy to out loud conversations until you're really practiced at it. And even then, sometimes it's fun to say it out loud. So, Manishka Gautam, thank you for joining. Stephen Rock says, past life's what I've been working on. Yeah, that's the feeling I was getting. So it's something in your heart chakra that wants to be released. So, and just remember, like, if you want to work with me one-on-one, that I have services where I can definitely help you with that. Lots of different ones for past lives too, because a healing session would be wonderful. However, a past life reading might be really helpful too, because what your team brings up in a past life reading, and it's actually called parallel life reading because I know that time is not real and it doesn't exist, but everybody says past life. Anyway, what your team, the lifetimes that they'll bring up and bring forward, what I ask from them is bring out the lifetimes that are most needed right now. What does this client need to know? What's affecting them specifically right now? What is, in the middle of healing, or what confirmation do they need? And then you trust the client's team to know, obviously, what that person needs. I don't just go digging and pull up whatever. I never do that. I always go through the team and say, what do you want him to know or her to know? What do you want to show me? And then we channel the lifetimes, and they're super, super detailed. It's a very long reading, but it's really helpful. So thanks for joining Madelek14 and Kaylin Chloe. Okay, so we talked about empaths a bit. Please feel free to drop any questions in the comment section. So something else, I don't even know why I want to talk about this. I just feel like someone needs to hear this. Okay, so this is something that I do with energy to check a space. Okay, so if you're like in a home or in an environment and you want to know, are there any spirits here? What's the energy like here? What's the vibe like here? Are there any portals? Are there any vortexes? This could be an indoor area, an outdoor area. You could even do this with a person, as long as you're, being respectful of their boundaries. If they push back, then stop. But anyway, it's like an energy reading, I guess. And I feel like this is going to be really helpful for someone. So basically what you do is, and you don't have to close your eyes, but maybe at the beginning when you're learning how to do this, that would really help for concentration, is you actually send your energy out towards, like, face whatever it is you're trying to read, the room or the person, whatever, and send your energy out to them. So it's like sending your feelers, sending your consciousness outside of your body for a moment, touching whatever or sweeping through a room, and then it comes back to you with the information. So you're either doing like a sweep, or you're doing like a touch and a pull back if it's a person, and checking in, like, are their intentions pure? Can I trust this person? This is really important for empaths, right? Although empaths are already like walking lie detectors, but if you're an empath, you have this ability. You already have it built in. This is an empath thing. This is not some crazy, like, psychic thing. I mean, being an empath, you're already psychic, because empath is clairsentience. So you know all the different clairs, right? Clairvoyance, clairaudience, yada yada. Clairsentience is an empath. They feel everything. It's one of the most powerful gifts to have. You can like read anyone, read any situation. So powerful, so important for you. Protects you, inspires you. I mean, it improves your life in every way once you get a handle on the protection and keeping yourself from getting drained and all of those things. So practice this. You could do it with a pet too, Marvin, if you want to, which would be really cute, actually. I've never done that with Gus. But anyway, sit in concentration. Feel what you are. You are not the body. You are the tingling life force. So how I feel this is focus on your lips. So if you close your eyes and you focus on your lips, can you feel the life force energy in your lips? It feels like a light buzzing or tingling. Try right now. You feel that sensation in your lips? That's the soul. The soul is made of life force energy, amongst other things. It's the batteries inside this doll, which would not be animated without us, the soul. We are the soul, right? We are not the body. The body is a vehicle, a temple, a home, a temporary home, so that we can have a physical life. You are the soul. You feel that in your lips. Feel it in your fingertips. It buzzes, right? It's like it's vibrating, right? We always talk about raise your vibration. You're a frequency. You're vibrating right now, kind of spread out through the body. You can pull that together and send it outwards. You're not sending everything. Don't worry. You're not going to like collapse. You're going to send a part of yourself. This is yours to use. You send it outwards. And like I said, you can sweep a room, and you can do that with your eyes closed by visualizing the room and sweeping it, or you can look at it and visualize your energy sweeping. Or if it's a person or an animal, you send it out and you touch them, and then you come back with the information. You'll bring back the information, and then you need to trust what comes back. This is that clear mind, clear heart we were talking about. In order to receive, you need all those racing thoughts and emotions removed. You can pray to have them removed. Please remove everything that is not for my highest good. All of the energy, the mental energy, the thoughts, all of that, just remove that. And even if it's temporary, if they can only be removed temporary, it might come back later, but you can remove it for a period of time during a meditation, a connection, or one of these energy sweeps, energy readings. So I just thought that would be something really cool for you to try if you're an empath, to use your gift in this way. It's really powerful, and you could read an object. You can, it's limitless. It's completely limitless. I used to do it as a kid, and I didn't know what I was doing because I lived in this really haunted house, and I didn't understand all of the levels of what was going on with this very powerful spirit that lived there with us. But I would always check if it was in the room without realizing that's what I was doing. I used to have this protective necklace that I wore even as a kid. It was a key, and I knew that it was protecting me. So I would take the necklace off because I felt like that would stop me from being able to do this exercise. I'd sit in my bed, take the necklace off, set it aside for a sec, which was dangerous in my mind because that was my protection. Set it aside just for a sec. And then I would close my eyes and I would send myself, sweep my room, send myself out the door into the hallway, and I'd find that spirit. What room was it in? What was it doing? But when I would do this, tap it or whatever, just to see where it would always follow me back. Like it would always know, like they're very intelligent and they feel everything too, right? So it would feel me poke it and then it would be like, what are you doing? And then it would come into my room. So I stopped doing that after a while because it would actually just attract it to me. But that's not what you're doing here. And plus, this was a really specific case because this particular spirit was not like a regular haunting. It was so lucid. It was like acting like a member of the family. It was so involved in everything. So it's not normal. That's very rare. But for you to do that, you could sweep a room and see what was in the room and then have your bubble of protection. You know, as a kid, I didn't know about the bubble of protection. And here I had taken my protection off. And that's probably why that happened too. So I probably could have left that necklace on and done it and been more protected because I believed in the necklace and its protection, which gave it its protection, because your beliefs create your reality. So you could protect yourself with a bubble of light, then, better idea, then sweep the room, check a person, whatever. Just know that people might feel it, right? So they might all of a sudden, if they're not with you, even if this is like a long distance poke, that sounded weird. The person might suddenly start thinking of you. Might be like, I was just thinking of you. How are you doing? Because you just poke them with your energy, right? So you can play with it, be respectful, right? Don't go creeping in on people or spying or anything like that. But as an empath, it is your gift and your sovereign right to read energy, to know what's in your environment, to have fun, to experiment. You are safe to play like this. And I know a lot of us have witch wounds, men and women. It's not just women. A lot of us have all kinds of past life trauma for using our gifts. And so we're afraid and we think it's really dangerous. And you are safe. That's what we're here to do. That's why we're on earth. We're here to play. We're here to experiment. We're here to grow. We're here to lead the way and show others. So please play with your gifts. Have fun. Experiment. Protect yourself with your angels, your guides, your bubble of light, and then go for it. Enjoy yourself. And if you're ever worried at the end of an experience like that you've called something in that, you know, like noticed or came, just clear. It's so easy to clear a space. You're never stuck. You're never in danger. You can literally clear a space or yourself like that with just the thought of doing it. I know we love our sage. I know we love our crystals. But we don't need them because all they are is a tool for us to kind of put our intention into, but it was always the intention that did it, right? So you can literally, like, I have this thing of sage here. It's huge. I've had it forever. I never use it because I've gotten away from a lot of my tools. I haven't been doing cards as much. It's just like realizing that you don't need it. It's like, well, I have all the information. Like for a card reading, I'll just tune in and channel my guides. They don't need to talk through the cards when I can hear them. Or for clearing, I can just clear myself with light or with an intention. And that's it. Or I can just ask Archangel Michael, even easier. And he's so great. Like he will literally, just like that, I'm telling you, Archangel Michael, please clear my body and soul and all that I am of everything that is not for my highest good. Please do it now. And so it is. It's done. You can say that about your home, your pet, your day, anything. So have some fun. Start playing with your energy. Being an empath is not just suffering. It's not just receiving all the time. Send some stuff out too. Have fun. It goes both ways. So, okay, just going to check in on your comments again. See what I missed. Not So Fancy Nancy, hi, thanks for joining. Designed by Luna, thanks for joining. Nancy says, such a great idea. I started work at the restaurant and my ex of 12 years will be there tonight. You need a bubble of protection. And I would actually just ask Archangel Michael to escort you the entire night. He's got nothing better to do because that's his job and what he wants to do. And he is multidimensional beyond what we can imagine. He's everywhere. He's everyone. He's with us all. You're never bothering him. So I would really encourage you to have him with you as your security bodyguard all of tonight, the whole time. The whole time. Nobody will F with you because they will sense that really powerful warrior over your shoulder, like with you, like, really? You want to try something? Like, so just have him with you. Plus, of course, visualize yourself in, for that experience, I would go hard on the energy. I'd go like probably golden. So, okay, so just to explain those colors of the protection bubbles again, pink is love and gentle. White is pure, clearing, cleansing, and they're all protection, but it's really powerful protection. Then gold is transmutation. So anything that's coming at you gets turned into its highest vibrational form and love. It's alchemy. So I use gold a lot because it's not that I don't want to experience life and interactions with people. It's just that I don't want them to harm me. So gold still allows me to experience everything, but it transforms it, transmutes it, as it comes, as we go, right? So gold is really powerful and I love it. Okay. So Stephen Rock says, soul feels like a light kiss. Yeah, right on the lips, right? So sweet. Thanks for joining, Omar. And Stephen says, that's why our mothers always said, stop touching everything. Yeah. And then Glitter Goddess says, it sounds familiar, like being a kid, I did some interesting things. Yeah, right? Like I didn't know that's what I was doing as a kid. I just knew that I wanted to know where that spirit was and that I could figure it out. And I could just like, and I could feel like it was still connected here. I wasn't separating anything. It was like a stream, like sending out a stream, and it would like go through the house, but it was still connected to me. And then it would find it, and then it would quickly retract, and I would know where it was, what mood it was in, kind of even what it was thinking, and have like a general shape of it. Like all the information, when you pull it back, snap it back in, it's an instant. That's why you have to trust your first instincts, the first visual that you get. That's it. What did you just see, right? And we see things all the time, even out of the corner of our eye. Like, I don't know if you guys remember when I first moved into this apartment, I think I said it on here, that I kept seeing like the shoulder of someone, like they would be walking by and I would see their shoulder, but then I'd talk myself out of it. If I'm like, wait, did I see that? And I'm looking, no, there's nothing there. Yes, you did, because you saw it enough times, someone's walking by enough times, and you keep seeing the same shoulder. It's like, okay. And then I cleared the apartment, and I haven't really had any issues since. And then if I do, it's because I am going to and from places and bringing home energy, right? It doesn't mean something that you've done something wrong. If you suddenly have a presence or something different, like a different vibe in your home, just clear it. It's so easy, but it takes self-awareness and I guess effort, right, to do it. So try to do it fairly consistently. I don't do it every day or anything. Like I'm not too worried about it. But if I have like a weird nightmare, or if I have, I don't know, if I see something or if I have a weird feeling, then I'll be like, oh, time to clear. And then you just clear it. I tried clearing the centipedes. It didn't work. Actually, I shouldn't say it didn't work. I really don't like centipedes. I don't know if you know what they are, but they look like carpet bugs. And they're big here, and they run up the walls, and they're very fast. And I've got all of these, things that are supposed to, like natural solutions that are supposed to detract them, but they were still, freaking me out and scaring me. So I finally had a talk with them, and maybe it did work because I literally haven't seen one since. So I'm gonna knock on wood. So I had a talk with them, and I was very angry, and I said, listen, I am done with this. You are not welcome in this space, and if you show your face again, that is my sign that you would like to end your incarnation. There will be no collecting you in a jar and putting you outside. There will be a vacuum involved, and you will be sucked into the vortex. And don't come crying to me in the astral realms about animal rights. This is your warning. You are not welcome here. And that was like 2 days ago, and it's actually been 2 days with no centipedes. I'm gonna knock on wood again, because it's like, that is probably like my worst nightmare. I thought spiders were the worst thing, or the scariest thing. Nope, I found something new in this apartment, so. Okay, Devoted Warrior of Light says, a lot of mantis beings have been in my bedroom lately. They are so calm and protective. That is so beautiful. I really like mantis beings as well. They are very, calm, exactly, like you're feeling it. It's calm, it's peace. They're very neutral, they're non-judgmental. They understand oneness, very high vibrational. And of course, we don't like to stereotype here on this channel. So that's not to say all mantis beings are like that, but the enlightened ones that are working on themselves are. Because it's about the soul within. And just like with humanity, there are going to be saints and there are going to be like murderers, violent people. Mantis beings are going to have everything. Pleiadians are going to have everything. Please don't assume because you see a Pleiadian that just don't make any assumptions. It's about the soul within, and they all have their own personalities and they all have their own intentions. So in order to protect yourself, don't assume anything. Tune in. You could do a little soul reading, poke that person with your energy and see. Or sometimes you can just feel, especially with like guides and spirit and stuff. You can tell. You can, as an empath, it's vibrating off of them and you know. And again, your first instinct. If something doesn't feel good, the first go, like the first time that you notice it or interact with it, don't talk yourself out of that and say, well, maybe I was being paranoid or it's probably fine. No, your first instinct is so real. It is so true. Please trust it. And this goes with people and this goes with spirit entities. Trust your first instinct, always. And if it doesn't feel like it's for you, then clear it from your space. Nope. And then you can just say, we all have we are portals basically, right? Like we are actually portals ourselves. So you could just say I am only open to beings, entities, energy that is for my highest good. Only those beings may enter my space or be near me or interact with me in any way, and everything else must leave now. Leave immediately, and then it leaves. You claim your space, and your body is your space too. Okay. Nancy says, good, she's going to ask Archangel Michael to join her tonight. Perfect. So what is all the laughing at? Oh, sucked into the vortex. That is the centipede's future, immediate future, if it shows its face again. Vortex of the vacuum. Jackie says, I had a dream about cockroaches and had seen 2 right before in the same week. Interesting. Brings me to my next thing that I wanted to talk about. Signs. What sign is that cockroach sending you, Jackie? Because Gaia is on a mission right now and we are getting signs like crazy. You better believe I looked up the spiritual meaning of a centipede. I did. You should be looking it up about cockroaches. Okay, so what's happening right now for signs for us, the Starseed Collective, is all Gaia. So it's all animals and it's all nature. It's been insane. So if you think it might be a sign, it definitely is, because we don't catch on as quickly as maybe we could. If you're seeing an animal, you don't have to wait till it repeats, right? Like if you see a crow, you don't need to see 7 crows. The first crow was the sign. Everything is a sign. This is a matrix, a simulation of energy built to talk to you. Gaia is sending through every way that she can messages, guidance, inspiration, and answers, comfort, love, everything. Look up that cockroach. And sometimes you can get just a sense of what the meaning is without needing to look it up. But I really like, for animals specifically, to look it up in either my animal book, animal deck, or just Google it. A lot of the times I'll just Google it. I'll put spiritual meaning of, and then whatever it is. And then I trust that the link or the first information that catches my eye is what's meant for me. Because you can get messages from anything in this way. You could pick up any book in the world and hold it between your hands, sandwich it between your hands, and say, please send me the message that I most need right now. And then flip the book, like the pages, kind of like this motion. And wherever you feel like you need to stop, start reading. And there's your message. Everything is a sign. Everything is magic. Everything is energy. And everything is talking to you. And right now, Gaia is coming through. She's going through so much, like I said. And she's wanting to really help each one of us to get on the path to our highest self and highest timeline, because that helps her. Because each one of us that claims our highest selves raises up the vibration of the entire planet and the collective. We're the ground crew. That's what we're here to do. So by serving yourself, you serve the all. By following your own joy, you bring it for everyone. By healing yourself, you heal everything, because you're so connected to the planetary grid, which is the energy of the planet, and the collective consciousness of humanity. You're connected to it all because you're here. So everything you do within and for yourself, you gift to everyone, right? So anyway, so signs coming through huge. Look up your animals. Don't wait to see it 3 times. You don't need to see, what was it? Where did I read that? Oh, it was a meme I saw. I saw this hilarious meme where it was like, the guides send you like a coin, a feather, a rainbow, and a chinchilla knocked on your window 3 times and you still didn't get it. It's like, let's not make them go to that extent. Look it up the first time. Like, I was meditating in my living room facing the window, and I opened my eyes for a second, and a bee knocked on the window from the other side. Like, he flew into it, and it went knock, 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 and then he flew off. That's what I'm talking about. Then you look up what kind of bee, like if it was a honeybee or a hornet or whatever, look it up. There's a message for you. And I really find it the best way for me. I mean, I do have an animal speak book, but lately I've just been putting spiritual meaning of into Google, and then feeling like trusting that what I need to see is going to come through, because how many links, there's millions. Just follow your gut instinct on that, right? And then also what's been coming through, hold on before I go on, let me just see before I get too far behind on these comments. So Jackie's going to look up the cockroaches. Good. Steven says, abso-freaking-lutely. Signs, ants, spiders, grackles. I don't even know what that is, but you need to look that up. Snakes and dragonflies. Oh, dragonflies are my favorite. Butterflies are my favorite. Oh, butterflies are my favorite. Oh my God, I love them so much. Every time I see a butterfly, I stop, no matter where I am or whomever I'm with, because their lifespans are so short. And I look at it and I say, I celebrate your life. And then I go on like a little butterfly shaman. Devoted Warrior of Light says, that would make lovely sense with the mantis beings in my bedroom, as I've been seeing ants and spiders all over the house and ran away from the spiders. I ordered a vacuum via Amazon and salt. Yes, my vacuum is my last resort, but I gave it a warning. I was fair. I can't do it. In case they pop up again, but not really looking into the meaning. Look it up then. Maybe once we get the meaning, the bug will disappear. Wouldn't that be so nice? Like, I finally got the meaning and I don't have to deal with that anymore. Be so amazing. Matthew Trax, thanks for joining. Nancy says, I saw a red cardinal just as it was taking off from my balcony. Perfect. What does that mean, right? Red is root chakra, passion. What is cardinal? What is trying to take flight in your life? Like, look into it, right? So, beautiful. Okay, so the other thing that's coming up as signs, but also as like guides, are the elementals. Do you know what the elementals are? So this would be fairies, elven beings, sprites, brownies, trolls, dragons, unicorns, goblins, all of that. So when people don't know the elemental realm and what's all included, I always say, think of like storybooks and the creatures in storybooks. Did I say unicorns? That's in there too. Think about fairy tales, okay? Fairy tales and storybooks and the kinds of like beings and worlds and realms, those are all the elementals. And they've been coming up really strong lately. to connect with us. And that is because they are Gaia's spokespeople. They're very, very earthy energy. They love Gaia. They love Earth. And most of them started out their realms on Earth. So check out the video on YouTube called Avalon. Avalon is an elemental realm. It began on Earth during one of the precession cycle high notes. So the golden era, which is where we're swinging back. We're in an ascension. We're swinging up towards a golden era. I don't know how many years, but I know we're not there. But we're on the upswing, right? As you can see, look at the ascension symptoms. It's undeniable. All the change happening in the world, the dark night of the soul, the purging. We're on the upswing now. So in golden eras, we create golden era societies like Lemuria, Atlantis, Avalon, probably many, many more. I don't know them all. Avalon is all about elementals. So I actually had someone ask a question for this live. Was they wanted to know more about the elementals, more about unicorns, dragons, and fae. So you can watch the Avalon video for sure. And then you probably, if you're really connected with them, I feel like you probably have a past life experience with one or as one. I've actually had a few of you, when I do your readings, it really surprises me to see that I found a few dragons in this community, which is so cool. I had one recently, and it's not energy that I was used to or familiar with before working with you all. I personally have had a lifetime as a unicorn, but not a dragon, I don't believe anyway. And so to understand dragons better and to feel into that energy and get to know, it's pure freaking magic. It's so amazing. So a lot of elementals are coming up. So maybe you're going to see fireflies, like the sparks out of the corner of your eye, like little fairies and sprites and stuff like that, especially outside though in nature. This is a great time. This month, June, is a great time to be out in nature as much as possible, breathing fresh air, be with the trees, be with the insects, be with the birds, be at peace with them. And if you're really interested or drawn to elementals, then please check out the Avalon video. Or again, if you want to uncover something, then sign up to work with me and we can figure out why you're drawn to them and what connection you have. Now, for me personally, it was like a lifelong thing. I had a guide as a little girl. My first guide was my imaginary friend. Her name was Starchild. Hilarious now, right? Now that I know Starseed and everything. But her name was Starchild, and as a little girl, I would talk about Starchild all the time. It was this little girl. And she would always be riding this white unicorn. And they're both guides of mine now. Amy is a Pleiadian, she was Starchild. And then Silverlight is my unicorn guide. And so I've always had those two connections, Pleiadian and Elemental. And now obviously I know I have very strong Orion energy. People tell me that all the time. I do. And I actually draw to me a lot of Orion starseeds because it emanates so strongly from me. I think it's my strongest frequency when it comes to other star nations, because it is so close to my heart. It's so my heart feels like it belongs in Orion still. It's huge for me. So we are all multiple things. You're not just, I'm a Pleiadian starseed. No, you probably had a past life as a Pleiadian, but you're a human right now, so you're an earthling right now. And then you'll probably go on to be, a dragon, a fairy, a mantis being, so many. You're not one thing. You're multi-dimensional, like the Rainbow Warrior. Many, many parts to you. There are many, many parts to you. So don't just choose one and then cling to that almost like an identity, because that's only honoring one part of your heritage when you're so many things, right? So if you were human and you were of mixed heritage the way that I am, that would be saying, well, I'm just one thing, I'm just Scottish and that's it. It was well, you're more than that, right? You're obviously many, many things. That applies with all of the different star nations. So don't sell yourself short. You represent more than just the Pleiadians or more than just the Arcturians. You are everything. Maybe you've been everything. maybe you've been things that would surprise you. I love the example now of the galactic octopus that came through. Like, how is that a lifetime that came through on Sirius? I think it was Sirius. I can't remember which of the Sirius stars are the water world. I think it's Sirius B. And it was this beautiful octopus being, bright pink, so cute. And I sent that and I thought, oh my God, this is so weird. Like, sometimes you go to send someone their reading, you're like, oh, really? Really, guys? That's what you sent through? Like, this is the weirdest thing. Like, is this even going to help this person? And then it always comes back from the client. Like, how could you know that? She sent me a picture of herself and she had like neon pink hair. Exactly the same color that I was describing this octopus to be. And then there was all these other weird synchronicities too. So just kind of have to trust what comes through with that, which is so funny. Okay. Oh, grackles. Grackles are beautiful bluish reflective birds. Oh, I would love that then. I love me some avian energy. And then Stephen's also getting a visit from a hummingbird. Oh, I had a summer where they visited me so much. It was so beautiful. I love their energy. It's delicate. It's like full of creation, like creation energy. It's just so beautiful. And beauty, like they're so pretty. Nancy says, I did a hypnosis session a while back where I saw myself shrink and ride a turtle. That was my something to the village where a shaman was waiting to initiate me. That is so cool. Everyone was so happy to see me, but I didn't recognize them. Amazing. I love that experience. That's like, you can have those experiences through hypnosis, through guided meditations even, right? Like you can bring yourself into those states with practice. Thanks for joining Tom Talks Truth and Zishan too. Good to see you. Glitter Goddess says, I have been is that a brontosaurus? A dinosaur? Amazing. Oh my God. I've seen them in some readings. Lemuria was an island. So beautiful. Oh my God. And it was kind of like a Jurassic Park style island. Like everything was so huge. The leaves were huge. The plants were huge. There were these dinosaurs, but it was all peaceful. Like it wasn't, like maybe they were all herbivores, I don't know. In Lemuria at that time, they looked like dinosaurs. They looked like these giant brontosauruses. So that could be Lemurian energy too, or just like the beginning of Earth, which is so cool. My guide, the turtle. Oh, you have a turtle guide. Very cool. So hopefully you've looked up the meaning of turtle, because there's a really powerful meaning behind turtle and being, that's an animal that has a lot to do with oneness and being the whole world and all of that. So, okay. And then the last thing I wanted to say about signs was when you get a repeating number, you can look it up. But I find with repeating numbers, like I was saying, to look up spiritual meaning of and then put whatever it is, like the animal or whatever, yes. But with numbers, I find like it's really good to tune in before you do that. Because with numbers, everybody has a different idea about what they mean. Whereas I find the animals is more cohesive, like everyone kind of agrees. But with the numbers, it's really different. Like there's numerology meanings, there's this, there's that, there's everything. So it's really important for you to tune in first. So what I say to myself was, okay, I'll see 444 and I'll be like, oh, what was I just thinking about? How was I just feeling when that popped up? Was I stressing? Was I thinking about something not for my highest good and possibly creating that negative situation? And then that 444 would mean, whoa, watch your thoughts. You're a creator. And everything that you think and feel, especially when you feel it, it's going to manifest, guaranteed. Is that what you want? Or do you need to rewrite that thought? Take it back and rewrite it, right? So play with that. So when you're seeing any number that means something to you. And then another example is they can be personal numbers, right? Like for me, I was born at 152. So whenever I see 152, that means new beginning, rebirth, transformation. You're on the path to a new you, like a rebirth idea. So it means something different to me. If I were to look that number up online, it's not going to mean anything. Numbers are very personal. And the general meaning may not apply. It might, and it's fine to look it up after, but when you first have it happen, just tune in quickly and just see. And that's the best way. So the next time you see a repeating number, I want you to pause and get into your self-awareness and go, like, use it as a reminder to be present, right? So all signs, here's another tip. Every time you receive a sign, it's a reminder to get present in the moment. Because that's another reason why we get signs, is because we're lost in the autopilot racing. We're not here. We need to be here, right here, right here. So the next time you get any sign, animal, centipede, a cockroach, whatever, bird, any number, any elemental, anything at all, sparkles out of the corner of your eye, peripheral vision, stop, get self-aware, get present. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me to be in this moment. Now, what is this sign about? What was I just thinking about? How was I just feeling? What does this mean to me? And then the third step could be looking up the meaning of that, because now you've gotten present, you've gotten self-aware, you've gotten a personal meaning, and then you're ready to absorb or take on a larger meaning that maybe you could find online, right? So, cool. All right, let's see. Hi, John. Thanks for joining. Hi, Arcturus Starseeds. Thank you, everyone. 444 was my song length today. What does it mean? What does it mean? Alchemy, transformation. That's what I just felt. Jackie just says dolphins, and I'm just going to agree with that comment. I don't know. Just yes. Yes to dolphins. That is such beautiful Lemurian energy. Whales and dolphins. Feels so good. Beautiful. Hi, Spiritual Awakening 111. Thanks for joining. Jackie, sorry, I didn't mean to write that. I was born at 222. No way. No way. 222 has been coming up so strong lately. It actually has a lot to do with twin flame energy. Every time I look it up, it's about divine love connection. So maybe you being born on 222, like, you are meant to find your twin flame, or your like true love. If you don't like twin flame as a label, which a lot of us don't, and I get why. It's kind of toxic the way that it's been turned. Like, I don't know, we label things and then we create meanings for them and then we destroy them. I think true love is a lot more powerful and a lot less confusing, because you can feel that with anyone and it is sacred. And 222 is like really vibing with that energy. So perfect. 444 song length felt like you should keep on your journey. Beautiful. I also still get transformation vibe from it. So maybe something is in your musical journey is starting to transform or take on new life in some way. So we destroy, yes we do, we destroy things, Glitter Goddess Shauna. We destroy things. We destroyed, humans do this. They take something like that cartoon where it's like, oh my precious, and you're just petting it, and then you just squeeze the life out of it till it's dead. We've destroyed it. I don't even like the term anymore. It's done. It's toxic. It's become toxic, right? There's so many people that are trapped by the idea of their twin flame. It's like, oh, well, he's obviously a narcissistic and abusive, but he's my twin flame, so I'm never gonna leave. It's like, that's toxic. Toxic. Okay. And I have a video on true love that is about all of that on YouTube. It's about me deciding that I don't like that term anymore, the twin flame term, and leaving it behind, and my reasons why, and then what I believe true love is. And of course, that's just my feelings, that's just my beliefs. It's all that it is my own perspective. So if you really believe in the twin flame idea, that there's just one soul for everyone, and you believe that you're with them, all the power to you. Who am I to tell you that's not true? What you believe, you make true. So, okay. Yes, and Jackie says, I believe with the labels, I feel like we can get too attached to them. Yeah. Vanessa's been seeing 429 so much. That feels really spiritual. 429. Feels like something kind of coming up on your path. I wonder, do those numbers mean anything to you? Because 4 is like transformation, and then 29 is like on the cusp of something new coming in. So, okay, cool. So anyway, we've probably been on here a while, haven't we? I've been so chatty. Oh my God, yeah, way over an hour. Too chatty today. Thank you, John. We did pack in a lot of content today. We're all over the damn place. We talked about, the only thing we didn't talk about, which I'm going to save this for a video, was somebody sent me, oh, before we go, can you send me some video requests, please? I have 3 or 4 videos to film this week, and I have a couple of ideas, but I'd like to know what you want. So you can either send them here or in the comments, or just message me. I mean, just whatever, or on YouTube, I'll see them. So send me some video requests. So something that someone asked me as a question, I'm gonna now just make a video on, because we're pretty much running out of time today. And it was about that they were afraid that they weren't gonna get into 5D. And like, or that people that they loved weren't gonna get into 5D, or that taking the vaccine would stop you from getting into 5D or ascending to 5D. And so just quickly, 5D is not a place. It's not a destination. It's not something that you travel to. It's a level of growth that you arrive to within. It's inside you, not outside, inside. 5D is in your heart. It's in your, it can be in your body, in your soul, in your chakras, but it's inside. You don't go there and then, oh, I've arrived. You work to get there. So that's shadow work, healing, learning to communicate with your guides, meditating, starting to eat healthy, high vibrational foods, exercising. You get there by putting work in. And then once you get there, then it's like arriving to a new level of self-awareness, a new level of consciousness. It's a new soul level. It's like a new level of growth. Like you get there. Once you get there, you don't unlearn it. We might, flip and flop between 3D and 5D inside. Remember, this is all about what's inside you. Then how do you have a 5D life or a timeline? Everything comes from within. You're creating from your heart chakra. You're creating your life from your heart. So if you have a 5D heart, then you have a 5D life. So you've got to do the work and you've got to get there within. It's not a journey. You just stay the same, but you go there. No, you're not going to get left behind. The people that you love may not choose to evolve into a 5D soul, but you can. And, with the jab, whatever, I have a video about if you're struggling with that. And I know a lot of us are. And it's called Creating Freedom. So check that out on YouTube if you want to know more about the jab. But just know that that's not going to stop you from becoming a 5D soul or creating that, transforming into that here on earth. Nothing can stop you. It's your destiny. If you put the work in and you're consistent and committed to it, you will all of a sudden, your manifestations will start arriving. It'll start to feel easier. You'll start to breathe easy. You'll start to recognize when you have something coming up, right? Like we were talking about how emotions are physical sensations, and how I think it was Stephen was saying he felt like almost nausea when he tried to open his heart. You're going to start, that's it. That's the level of self-awareness you need to be 5D. Oh, there's something there. Something's off. Or something in my life isn't serving my highest good anymore. It doesn't feel good anymore. That's it. That's it. You just need the awareness of what's not for your highest good, inside or outside, person, situation, anything. And again, this is stepping on the toes of the last video about transmuting energy, which is again just you're taking energy and you're transmuting it or turning it over into its 5D version. So watch that video too if you're unsure how to do that. So yes, please just understand that it's not a place you're going to go to. It's what you're going to create and become. You become it, and then your life reflects what you are already. So hopefully that makes sense. So send me, like I said, any video requests, and then just checking in on your comments one more time. Devoted Warrior of Light says, labels for sure in past relationships. Whenever something occurred, I would just observe and say to myself, I'm a head out. I don't like love. It stings. Oh, sometimes it does. I'm not going to disagree with you. It's not easy. Love is scary and it's a risk, and sometimes it doesn't last. But it might, right? And so isn't it worth the risk? I mean, you can grow a lot living on your own and being a single person. But when you are in a relationship with someone, especially when you live with someone, you are going to grow so much, because they are going to reflect to you all of the stuff that isn't 5D, that needs evolution, transmutation, all of those things. It's an amazing way to learn. It's an amazing way to grow. And true love is available to everyone. And that's when someone grows with you. So true love, and again, check out the true love video, but it's when you grow at the same rate. You're not like, you're growing and they're here, and now you're feeling like, oh God, like it almost pulls you down. You can't be free. You can't do what you need to do. You feel guilty. You're not aligned. You're having arguments. That's dissonance. That's when two people aren't aligned anymore. That's all it is. You can fall out of alignment with a person, a family member, a friend, a job, a diet, a way of eating. You can fall out of alignment with everything. Self-awareness will tell you that it's out of alignment, and then you can try some things to bring it back into alignment, and if it doesn't work, you have to make a new decision. And that's it. That's all there is to it. You can't stay in a situation or in a life that does not align with you. You are a magical starseed, here to experience as much joy as possible so that you can help the collective. We don't stay where we're not seen, understood, and appreciated. We move on. We heal and we try again, right? So please don't let a bad relationship or love's sting stop you from trying again. Now, I might be a hopeless romantic, but if you keep trying, you're going to keep learning and keep growing. And what's wrong with that? And all of the emotions are worthwhile, even the hard ones. It's just giving me so much depth to my soul that I wouldn't have if I hadn't tried. So it didn't work out. So, I learned a lot. Does it hurt? Yeah. But it's kind of beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? I'm here in a human, like sometimes I just sit back like, I'm really here in this human on earth right now. Like I really did it. Like I planned to come here. I trained to come here, but now I'm like really super aware in it, here, looking around like, what is happening? I'm living this life as this woman, this girl named Jenny, and like I'm doing my best to like be that person, but really, I know who I really am, the eternal soul. So I just think it's beautiful to even be in pain, because it's such a human thing to be and feel. And I know that I'm going to take all that with me when I leave here, and it's going to mean so much. It's going to help me so much. I'm going to be so deep and able to help so many people. And a lot of the stuff that I've been through, especially some of the hard, like addiction, PTSD, childhood stuff, relationship stuff, if I just keep talking about it and being really real and honest and authentic about my struggles, I just keep helping people. That's not easy to talk about what you're going through. I'm not perfect. I have all these things that I'm working on and healing through. But then someone that needs that message or is also going through that watches it or sees it and is like, oh, okay. So it is okay to struggle with addiction. So it is okay to not feel 5D all the time. So it is okay to have a relationship fall apart. That doesn't mean I've done something wrong. It just means this is no longer in alignment with who I am. And you know why? Because you're growing. That's what you're supposed to do. Keep growing, keep transforming, keep evolving, and don't let anyone or anything hold you back. And as soon as you realize that it's time to make a new choice. So check out the transmutation video on YouTube for how to transmute anything in your life, whether that be a job, a relationship, addiction, and energy. You can do it, and I lay it out in like 5 steps. So empower yourself with that knowledge. Alrighty. Glitter Goddess Shauna says, on elementals, I love unicorns and dragons, fairies, all of it. I am very aligned with the unicorn kingdom. And whenever I call on them, they like arrive in like droves, like waves of unicorns. Like I feel so connected to them still. Marvin says, and it would be really toxic as the labels, we are this and that, which we're limiting, would distance vibrations of two supposedly in love. Labels don't help anything. They cause separation. Absolutely. 100% agree with you. 5D is a state of consciousness. Exactly. It's a state of consciousness, awareness, growth, frequency, love. It's a state. It's like an inner environment. It's a soul upgrade. It's a consciousness upgrade. And it's like a lot of self-awareness. And it doesn't like end, like you get there and then you've done it. There is no end to this journey. There is no end to self-growth. It's just constant. You just continue on the path. You just keep going. As far as you're willing to go, the path will continue. And I say that a lot about healing. Like I healed my childhood and then past lives started popping up. And I'm like, well, if I just keep healing these, will they just keep showing up? Yup. Yup, they do. They will continue to show up as long as you're willing to put in the work. It never ends. A lot of us have had thousands of lifetimes. Thousands. Just heal as many as you can. Just never give up and never stop. Your soul is getting lighter and lighter with each layer of density that you remove. And it's so beautiful. Authenticity, a beautiful thing. Absolutely. Absolutely. That was a video idea about elementals. Thank you. Okay, perfect. So I've done the Avalon video, but I would like to do one about elementals. Maybe separately, like maybe one about unicorns, one about the Fae, like maybe break it up. Otherwise, it's just going to be like the Avalon video again. So do you have a past life healing video? I have, sort of, yeah. I have a video called Past Lives, so that one for sure. And then I have, and this is on YouTube, by the way, everything's on YouTube. And then I have a series called My Life on Orion, and that will take you through the healing process of healing a past life. So I'm very raw and vulnerable in that video. There's 3 videos in the playlist, and it's like when I first found out and trying to like absorb the trauma of it, then partway through the healing process, then at the end, kind of the conclusions that I came to. So that's something that's really helpful to watch someone go through the process, if that makes sense, to understand your own process. So, yes. Okay, perfect. Have you done a video about timelessness? No. That's a good one. You know what? That's such a hard concept. People, okay, when you say to someone, time is an illusion, that's my idea of small talk. Time is an illusion. It doesn't exist. It's like, oh God, here we go again. That is such a hard concept. And there are moments when I totally get it and I feel so open to that. Like moments when you also get oneness. All of a sudden, like your brain or something just cracks wide open. You're like, oh. But then you kind of sink back into the human. You're like, what? How does time not exist? But I'm seeing it go by. Like, it's really hard, right? But I think that would be a really good video. So thank you. I'm going to write that down because that would be like, how would you even describe that? It'd be so intricate. Let's try and see how I do with it. Timelessness. Perfect. So if anybody else has any other video ideas, please feel free to just send me a message or comment on something either on Instagram or YouTube and I will see it. So thank you so much for today. I know we went kind of long today, but I felt super chatty for some reason. And I will repost this. I will try. Sometimes if it doesn't go on Instagram, like last week, it's on YouTube. Instagram's really fussy, and sometimes the app will just close right after I end this, and then it's gone. And then when I go to upload it, it says you can't upload a video that's longer than an hour. So it's like, well, okay, so it's on YouTube. So if you don't see something here on Instagram, hop on over to YouTube, There's some galactic guidance ones over there that didn't make it here. Also, make sure you're subscribed on YouTube for new videos every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. 3 new videos a week. Yes, it's a lot of work, but I love you and I'm going to keep doing it and keep teaching, because I am the Galactic Shepherdess. That is my main vibration. If you want to work with me one-on-one, reach out. Check out my website. Check out my links. I offer healing, counseling sessions, readings, so many things, so many ways to help you. And of course, before you go, please remember, listen to your heart and the quiet voice within. Because you are so much more than the body you are in. Have a beautiful day. Bye.